My life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine.
I said, man, I'm thinking I'm gonna try to go in the cafeteria. I told myself. I went up in the cafeteria, bro. I sat there, put my head down, bro. Security comes, bro, like 2 hours later. They're like, hey, what are you doing here? Why are you here? You should be in school. Like, they started sweating me, bro. Slapped the cuffs on him. Do you have somewhere to live?
Everybody loves the sunshine.
What is up, guys? What is up? Welcome back for another video, man. Today, you saw the title. You saw what it was, guys. Let's go ahead and dig right in and pull everything out and see what we're looking at. Here are the onion rings. Wow. Let's take a look at that. Oh, look at those bad boys right there. The chili cheese fries, guys. Wow, guys. Wow, look at that, man. Can you guys see that? Wow. Also got a cheeseburger, guys. So check this out. Wow, look at that, guys. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I'll put that right here. And then the chili cheese fries, they come with like this sheet metal. Oh my god. They come with this like paper, so I'm thinking maybe I can set those on here like so. Man, today I wanted to talk about my experiences, you know, being homeless and stuff like that when I went through a hard time in my life. I want to talk about that. But first off, let's go ahead and get into this. Wow. Wow. I got Thousand Island right here for my onion rings. Put that right there so you can see that. Let's go ahead and dip in the onion rings, guys. Let's go ahead and dip this in. Okay. Very, very good. Super, super crunchy. Wow. Let me tell you one thing. New time trying this place. Working out good. So I wanted to talk about the time, man, that I was homeless, man. Yo, hey, man, I was homeless, man, at a very young age. Look at that, guys. I was homeless at a very young age, guys. The first time that I hit the streets, and a lot of that, the reason that happened to me was because how I was and the way I acted and the things that I did, man. You know what I mean? I was very, very ignorant. Very ignorant. And very like basically I didn't care about what anyone said, what anyone thought. I just did me. I wouldn't listen to my parents, guys. I didn't care what they had to say. I was extremely defiant. Extremely defiant. School grades were down, guys. I would ditch school, and you know, I don't want you to think and say like, oh wow, like his parents didn't care about him. You know, his parents kicked him out on the street. That's messed up. Why would they do that? That's so messed up. He was so young. But I was really bad. And now that I'm older and look back on that, I don't blame them for what they did, because it ended up helping me realize so much. You take things so for granted when Oh man, did he give me yellow peppers? No, I asked her like 3 times. She didn't give it to me. Oh well. You take things so for granted. Like when you're, especially when you're younger, a lot of people take things for granted till the day they die. But what I'm saying is like, when you're younger, you take so much more for granted. And me, like, I didn't care, you know. Like, to me, I was this big bad guy, and nothing that said to me mattered. So I got into a predicament. Got myself kicked out of my house. So I ended up house hopping. Guys. You know, at first it was cool. My friends would be like, now I look back at it, man, I had a lot of cool friends. Especially their parents, because when I would stay there, obviously, you know, they knew I was there, but they wouldn't press me, like try to talk to me or try to be like, oh, I'm gonna take you home, yada yada yada. Which in reality, you probably think that would be the right thing to do. And a couple of them did try to do that in the beginning. But I would refuse. And I wouldn't want them to do that. You know, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna just take off. I would tell my friend, I'm gonna just take off, man. I'm not really trying to go back. And I was so pissed at my parents. I was so upset at them. I was so mad at what they had did to me that I didn't want to be around them. They were my enemies. They were my biggest enemies at that age and that mindset. You know what I mean? And so I started staying at a couple friends' house. I would stay like at one friend's house 2, 3 days, 4 days. I would bounce around. What was cool, man, is I had a lot of, I mean, in the beginning of that first time, I had a lot of help. Like my friend's older sister, she would help me. She felt so bad for me. She would help me. She like washed my clothes for me. She would cook us meals and stuff like that. She would be like, she would feel so bad for me, you know. And I think about it now, and I look back, and I'm so thankful. You know, I'm so thankful for what she did for us. Well, for me, because she didn't have to, you know, but she felt bad. She would tell me like, I can't believe this is happening to you. I'm so messed up. You know, try to talk to your parents. She would always try to give me like consejos. Consejo in Spanish is like advice. You know what I mean? She would always try to give me that advice and stuff like that. So that was cool with her, man. She was like older, you know. She was like in her mid-20s. I guess she looked down on me. She felt bad, you know. So that helped me a lot. We started getting into 3-4 weeks, guys, of me doing that. And eventually, you know, when you're spending nights like that at your friend's house, it's going to end up causing problems one way or the other. If it's consistent and it keeps happening, you know, people, it's their home. You know, you're welcome to stay there, but you're just not welcome to live there, you know. So a couple of my friends' parents started telling me, you know, like, started telling them, like, you know what, he needs to figure it out. You know, we helped him already. You know, he needs to go and get back home. Wow. Oh, it's banging, guys. So, as that started happening, guys, I started to have less and less places to stay. So it started getting harder, and I really started to see what it was to be really homeless. What I mean by that is when you're homeless, yeah, some people you can classify it as jumping from house to house, house hopping. You're technically homeless because you don't have a direct position to stay, to eat, to live. Now, as I started to lose like my connects where I was staying at, then is when I really started to realize what being homeless really was, man. I remember my first night on the street. I had nowhere to stay, and I didn't figure that out till like the very last minute because I was supposed to have a spot, and eventually, that spot it ended up working out, so I ended up in the street. And I think that's where the fear, wow, it's super crunchy. That's when the fear, I think, and the worry kind of engulfed me all at one time. It kind of hit me like boom, it hit me like boom. And I said, oh man, damn, because I had been to all these houses, so it was like I always felt like I had somewhere to stay. So I never really felt that worry, that panic, that pressure. I never had that for like the first like 3.5, 4 weeks. It wasn't like that, and when it finally happened where I didn't have nowhere to stay and I was technically truly in the street is when hit me at one time. The pressure, the worry, the panic, the uncertainty, and man, it hit me like a boulder. Boom, right? It hit me like a boulder, and man, it was like, I guess, like anxiety. I started to panic, man. I remember I went into a Jack in the Box. Got me a chicken sandwich with 2 tacos. And I just sat there. And it was a 24-hour Jack in the Box, inside and outside. So that was pretty dope. And I remember I sat there, man. And I sat there and I got there like, I think 6 o'clock, man. And I had been tired because I hadn't been sleeping well either. When you're homeless, man, don't think even if you're staying at people's houses, you're not gonna get good sleep just because you got that stress on you that you gotta look for the next spot to live and stuff like that. So I remember eating the tacos and I just sat there, I sat there and I was just like in awe, I was quiet. I didn't say nothing, I had my backpack, dirty shoes. Luckily I had showered, so I didn't stink. But I know you could see it in my face. You could see it in my face, the worry. I know you could see it in my face. And I remember it got to like 11 o'clock. And I guess they had noticed, obviously, that I was there. And they didn't know what I was doing. And I was so young, man. You know what I mean? I remember this older, like, Mexican lady. I guess she worked, like, in the back, or I don't know. She came out to clean the tables at 11. And I was just sitting there with my head down. And she told me, hey. She told me, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing here still? In Spanish, she told me that. She's like, what are you still doing here? And I was like, no, nothing. Put my head back down. She's like, what? She's like, you all right? Are you all right? And I was just like, yeah, I'm all right, man. Just going through a lot. She's like, how old are you? You look so young. And I just like kind of like smirked it off, and I was just like, I went like that. And she just stared at me. Remember, she just stared at me, right? She stared at me, and she was just like, do you have somewhere to live? Like, she just looked at me. I guess a mother's instinct. I don't know what it was. She's like an older lady, maybe like in her 40s. She's like, you have somewhere to live? And then I just like, man, I remember I just like put my head down, and I just got up and I said, man, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just going around and I'm homeless. And she's like, wow, like, I remember, bro. Like, she just like, she just looked at me like with these eyes. Like, she felt so bad, and I seen her eyes kind of water and stuff. Like maybe 20-30 seconds later, her eyes got kind of like glossy. You know, I don't know if she was like watering, she felt bad, or what she said, but she's like, you know what? She's like, you need to go home. She told me, so you gotta go home. You need to go home. Wherever you're running from, she's like, go home. It'll be all right if you go home. And I told her, man, I can't go home. She's like, yes, you can. She's like, yes, you can. And I was just like, she's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Man. She's like, are you hungry? You want something to eat? I'll get it for you. Don't worry. I have to make it for you. I was like, nah, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. And she's just like, you know what? She told me, stay here. Stay here. I'll let them know what's going on. I'll let them know what's wrong. Because she's like, I see good in you. I see a good boy in you. But I see a lot of pain, she told me. She's like, stay here. Don't leave here. Spend the night here. Sleep. Because it was like a bench, you know, like the back, like a bench in the back. She's like, lay down, go to sleep. I'll let them know that why you're here and that you're going to spend the night here. Don't go out in the street, she told me. Don't. You're too young, she said. Stay here. And I was like, wow, thank you, you know. I was like, man, that's amazing. I said, in my head. I felt so blessed, you know. And remember, like an hour later, she came back with a bag of food, bro. She brought me like 2 McChickens. Oh my god, two regular chicken sandwiches like I had already bought, and a burger, a small burger, and some fries. She said, "Here, take this for your next day, or take it for later and have something to eat." Bro, at that point, man, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up, bro. I teared up. I didn't cry, but I teared up. And I was like, man, thank you, you know. When you're in a position like that, well, look at this. When you're in a position like that, man, and someone goes out their way to help you, man, you don't know how much that means to that person, you know. You don't know by what you're doing out on the street for somebody, buying someone a meal, giving someone $1, giving someone a ride if you can, paying for somebody's gas. You don't know what you're doing. That little impact that you're doing could be so massive in that person's life that it's truly a blessing. It's truly a blessing. You know what I mean? And so I felt so humble. Yeah, man. I ended up crashing out there. I fell asleep at Jack in the Box, yo. Woke up. I don't know what time it was, man. But woke up, it was already like in the morning, like this dusk. The sun was coming out. Remember, got up, went to the restroom, washed my face, my hands, my neck, stuff like that. My hair, rinsed it off with the soap they have in the restroom. Had my little, had my food in my backpack. Got my backpack, guys. Got up, you know, and hit the street. Man. Didn't know where I was going. Started walking around. Jumped on a bus, man. Jumped on a bus on Manchester in LA. Took it all the way down to La Brea. And I hit up my cousin and I said, yo, what up, man? What's going on? What's up? It was just weird, you know, like we're both so young. And I told him what's going on. He was like, man, bro, you serious? Like, I know my dad had said something about that. He talked to your dad, I don't know what, but it's crazy, bro. I don't have a cell phone. I didn't want to really contact my family, you know. My cousins, nobody. Even though we were close, I didn't want to really, like, reach out to them like that. You know what I mean? Because it was just, you know, it was my problem, you know. And I'm a young-ass guy. I'm a young-ass kid, you know. He's like, bro, you're crazy. I don't know how the hell you've been gone for a month. That's nuts, bro. Bro, people was, like, thinking that you was dead. Because I had zero contact with anybody. After 2.5 weeks, my parents had put a missing child out for me. Okay, the way I found that out was because my cousin told me. He told me that your mom put out a missing child. She's like, she's kind of like, she's like sick. She's like devastated. She regrets what she did. He was telling me all this stuff, that my mom was like, she was like devastated and that she regret what she did, but she wanted to do it for my own good because I wasn't listening to show me a hard way, but that she was just in like, that she was just like in disarray, man. Like she was just so regretful and so worried about me that, basically, she threw me out for my own good, but she regretted it after she did it. Basically. Man, I told my cousin, man, I'm like, man, I don't even care, man. I said, I don't care. She should have never did that to me, bro. They don't know what I'm going through. I know I put them through hell, but they don't know what I'm going through right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I told them, they don't know what it is what's going on in my mind. What I'm having to do, where I'm sleeping at, bro. I told them I slept at Jack in the Box, bro. Bro, I slept at Jack in the Box, bro. I was like, damn. He's like, bro, just come over here, bro. Come to my house. Screw it, bro. He's like, come through over here, man. Just come to my house. And I was like, man, I don't know, man. Think about it. I was like, I'll hit you up. I'll call you back, dude. Thanks. The youngster 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds think we know the whole thing about the world. Didn't do it. Didn't call him. Stayed in the street. Went the whole day. Ate my Jack in the Box. Walked around. Started asking for change. Got some money. Got like $3 in change. People were asking me like, what the hell am I doing? That I look too young. A gang of people told me that. Some lady even offered to like take me home to like she like, you come to my house, I'll get you back home, don't worry, I don't want you in the street. She was like some lady, man. It was kind of weird a little bit, but I was like, nah, I'm good. Probably good offerings, but you never know. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna pass, That night, when they got me a beer with those $3. I went and got me a beer, 40 ounce. Had to wait like 2 hours for someone to buy it for me at 3 different liquor stores because nobody wanted to get it for me. And then finally this old dude, he bought it for me. So I was like, screw it. Took me a while to get that thing, bro. I was getting hella frustrated, but I needed some beer. I needed some beer in my system, man, to help me cope. Got my beer, bro, put it in my backpack. Still had one chicken sandwich left, and I bought a bag of chips as well. And went, man, started walking around looking for somewhere to sleep, man. And I said, man, I need to find me a park. Started walking around. I started asking people, hey, where's the nearest park at around here? They're like, oh, yada, 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 go this way. And it was like 2 miles, so I had to walk that. Walked the 2 miles, got to the park, man. Started looking for somewhere to sleep. Park was dark, no lights. They had shut it down already. And I'm like, damn, man, screw it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Went up in the park and sat on a bench, bro. Drank my 40 ounce, got buzzed. At that age, you get drunk quick, Got buzzed, like hella buzzed. I remember just being like, oh. Next you know, bro, I just fell asleep, boom, like that. Fell asleep, boom. I fell asleep. And I remember just knocking out, like I just passed out, bro, knocked out. And I remember I woke up and it was the park cleaners. The park cleaners woke me up, bro. They're like, hey, get up. They're cleaning the park. Picking up the message, like, hey, you gotta go, man. Can't be sleeping right here. And I'm like, oh, that. I woke up, I was like, whoa. I woke up without the realization where I was at. I woke up with just like the realization of just like me just waking up, like, whoa, and then reality comes back and you're like, oh shoot, I'm yada yada yada, this is where I'm at still. And I got up and I'm like, damn, and I felt a little bit like still a little buzz, tired. Got up, man, started walking around, man, you know what I mean. And Walked around. It was like, I don't know what time it was, man, but got up, started walking early in the morning. I was on a bad mood. I was tired. I was, like still a little buzzed, and I was just like walking around like, damn, man, I hate this, man. I hate this. And I was just like, man, I started to realize, man, it's only been 2 days, bro, and I'm already like, I'm already like struggling, bro. I'm already like, man, like this is no joke, man. In the street, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, this is no joke. This was my first time. I had more times, but it was no joke, bro. I was just so tired, and I was just like, man, I'm like, damn, dude, this is whack. Like, everything was cool and dandy when I was spending the night at my friend's house. It was all fun and games then, but now, man, bro. Started walking, asking for more change. Started smelling, bro. I needed a shower. Started stinking. Asking for more change, didn't have no money to eat, nothing. Hopped on a bus, took the bus closer to my cousin's house, and I figured, you know what? I'm gonna stay around here for a couple more days, and then I'm gonna just hit up my cousin because, man, I'm gonna tell you, it was getting hectic, man. I was already tired in general overall from just house hopping that whole time. It was taking so much out of me. Then when it came down to actually being in the street, it was even worse. Took another bus down, man, and I took another bus down, got off the street, and I walked towards like USC. That's where my cousin used to live by. He lived by USC, and right there in West South Central. And I remember I took a walk down to USC, man. I remember walking onto the campus and walking through the campus and stuff. People just looking at me like, what the hell is this dude doing? Looking all tired and hungover, all dirty and smelly. What's this dude doing? You know what I mean? I said, man, I'm thinking I'm going to try to go in the cafeteria, I told myself. I went up in the cafeteria, bro. Got into the cafeteria. Found out. Asked like 2 people where was at. Got into the cafeteria. I sat there, put my head down, bro. Security comes, bro, like 2 hours later. They're like, hey, what are you doing here? Why are you here? You should be in school. Like, they started sweating me, bro. They started sweating me. They're like, how old are you? What are you doing here? Why aren't you in school? Bruh. These dudes, they're like, come with me. And I'm just like, oh, man. Like, I started thinking like, damn, bro, I'm a bucket. I'm about to jet. I'm gonna run. And I'm like, damn. Where am I run to? They took me to the office, bro. Started asking me like all kinds of questions. Like, how'd you get on campus? Like, how old are you? Are you ditching school? Why do you have a backpack? Sweating me, bro. And they're like, I just told them what's going on. I said, man, I'm 14. They're like, and I'm 14. And man, I just was trying to get some food and I fell asleep. And they're like, bro, come on, like, really? And they're like, where do you live at? I didn't live nowhere around here, nowhere around there. I didn't live. I lived more down in LA. And I told them, I live right here. I told them where my cousin lived at. They were like, all right, well, you're underage and you're on a campus. We're either gonna escort you out or we're gonna call the cops to come pick you up, figure out what's going on, because they didn't believe nothing I was saying, bro. I mean, I smelled, I was dirty, bro. I looked homeless, bro. I looked dirty. I slept on a bench. I was just dirty. My pants were kind of dirty. My white shirt was dirty. You know what I mean? And bro comes back. Head of security comes back. He's like, hey, we're calling the police. We feel like you are lying to us, and we're gonna get down to this, yada yada yada, man. Got down to it. Police came through, man. I was tripping, bro. I was tripping. I was like, damn, are you serious? Police came through, bro. Started asking me questions like, are you homeless, bro? What are you doing on the street? You don't look like you just came from your house. You look very tired, exhausted. Tell us what's going on. They weren't like really like stressing me out, like trying to like interrogate me, like slap the cuffs on him. They were just like, they looked more concerned of anything, you know what I mean? And I told him, I was like, I did school. I was still going against the grain. I was still trying to go against the grain. I was like, I did school. I didn't want to go to school. They're like, give me the address. I told them I lived right here. Like, give me the address. I want to take you to the house. At that point, I was like, damn. It was a wrap, bro, because it was either like I go to my uncle's house with the cops lying. He wasn't gonna like that, or I tell him exactly what's going on. So I just, I was like, you know what? I just broke it down to him. I said, man, you know what? I'm lying. I don't stay around here. I've been homeless for like over a month. I came out here and took a bus up here because I was gonna go to my cousin's house. I'm tired, and I just thought that this would be like the best spot for me to go around here because it's like I just didn't know what I was gonna get into. And I told them where I live. I told them how long I've been homeless. They started to tell me, all right, look, we're gonna help you. I'm gonna get you back home. Yada yada yada. They ran my name. They pulled up and saw the report. They're like, you know what? We're taking you in. You got to go back to your parents, man. You got a missing report out on you, and we need to return you to your parents. So come on. They got me. They didn't put me in cuffs or nothing like that. They just escorted me out and took me to the station, bro. Went in the holding tank, and I was just like, damn. I was sitting there in the holding tank, and I was just like, damn, man. Like thinking about everything. Like, man, I messed up, and man, my parents are probably gonna come pick me up. Not probably, they are gonna come pick me up. And yeah, man. Cops called my mom. She was at work. Bro, she had to get out of work and drive all the way from her job to where I was at, which is like 30 miles. I remember they're like, okay, we got in contact with your parents. They, wait here. They're gonna come pick you up, and we're gonna release you to them. And I was telling them, like, man, I ain't trying to go back. I was still like being so ignorant, dude. Like, I was so tired and wanted to go home, like, low key. I wanted to go home, no lie. But I was just so tired. Like, I was just like, oh man, I was tired, man. It takes a lot out of you. Trust me, guys. And I was so young and so tired and so like, bleh. And I remember they're like, you don't have a choice, son. I don't care what you got to say. They told me you are a minor and you belong with your parents, and that's just the way it's gonna go. And they just slammed the door. So then, so yeah, my mom gets there. They tell me come out, give me all my belongings, my paperwork, incident report, etc. I come out to the lobby. My mom's right there, and I'm just like, damn, I didn't know what to say, man. I was just like, damn, and then she comes up to me. And then they're just telling her where they found me, yada, yada, yada. She's asking them questions, blah, 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 yada, 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 asking more questions. And then she's like, let's go. And I take off, and then, back to my house, man. Took a shower and went to sleep for, 2 days. Ate some food, man. And that was my first experience, man, was a month out in the street, man. It was a month. It was my first experience ever. And I had a lot of help that first time. I had a lot of help that first time, from a lot of people. So I'm very lucky to have had all the help I did from my friends and stuff like that. It was a tremendous amount of help, and I didn't realize what it really was, the streets were, until I finally lost that help. And what I'm trying to get to you guys right here, all my youngsters or people that are going through something with their family, no matter what you do, bro, don't ever choose a street, man. Don't ever choose a street, because this is just my first time. I have two more times that were a lot worse than this. And I was a little older that I'll get into in other story times. But I'm going to tell you right now, I was so young and it was so crazy, man. It's not worth it. You might think you're cool, you're hard, you can hang, you're this, you're that, you're big this. You don't not worry about it. You can do it yourself. I'm going to tell you right now from experience, guys, to all my youngsters who watch me, if you ever thought about running away, man, don't run away, man. Don't run away. Don't hit the street, man, because it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. It's not worth your life. Things can happen to you out there, and you just never know. It's not worth it at the end of the day, man. Stay home. Do what you got to do. Listen to your parents, man. If they know they piss you off, they annoy you, they get you mad, you want to run away, you don't want to be around them, they get you annoyed. At the end of the day, man, what you're going through at home is never gonna be it's always gonna be a lot easier and smooth than what you're gonna go through in the street when you get into trouble, when you run into problems, when you have nowhere to sleep. It's magnified 3 times in the street than what it is you have to deal with your mom yelling at you because you're not doing this or you're doing that. That's nothing compared to what you're gonna go through in the street. It's nothing, man. I'm telling you from experience, man. Just listen to your parents, man. Just go through it, ride the wave, do what you gotta do, get out of there, move out if you can. If you can, when you get a little older, just deal with it, man. Don't ever hit the streets, man. Don't ever do it. It's not worth it, man. I've seen so much stuff in the street that, you know, it's just not worth it. Just take my word for it, man. Take my word for it. I've been through it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, guys, I'm already hecka full. I'm sorry I didn't finish it all, but we did kill the rings though, most of the rings. But with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning into my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and we'll see you guys in the next one, man. Remember, man, nobody loves you. Tasty loves you guys. All right, it's been a pleasure to spend my time with you, and it's gonna be a pleasure for you guys to watch me. I appreciate that. You guys have a great day. Until the next one, guys, peace.